Are we recording? We are recording. I remembered to do it at the beginning of the call. That is like unheard of. I'm getting really good at this coaching thing. Okay. So I'm so excited because I got to have phone calls with several of you this week. I got to have a phone call with Dawn, Jamie, Amy, Rachel. Yeah, that's it. 4 of my coaches this week actually called me, which was incredible, and I'm so excited about it. And none of you regret it, do you? No. So listen, I want to talk about this because one thing I know for a fact keeps people from reaching out to me is pride and feeling like I don't have time for you. And that really aggravates me because I think I've said it till I'm blue in the face that I want to talk with you if you'll just call me. But I do leave it as your responsibility. And I think part of that, me making it your responsibility, is obviously because, for one, I mean, y'all know, like, what I'm trying to prep you for is growing your own team, is being a leader of your own team one day. So I need you to begin to do things that means acting like a leader, acting like an entrepreneur, being self-sufficient. So part of the way that I do that is, one, telling you that I'm your last resort when you need something, because I want you to, number one, see if you can't figure it out, go to the FAQ, do all that. I don't do that because I don't have time for you and because I don't want to talk to you or because any of your questions are not valid questions. It's because I want you to start thinking like an entrepreneur thinks, which is, let me solve this problem. Now, the second thing is, if you can't figure out yourself how to solve the problem, is obviously to go to the team page. Why do I do that? Because I want to continue to encourage y'all to communicate with each other. Hold on just a second. Everybody please make sure you're muted. Yeah, okay, much better. So the reason I do that is because I want to continue to encourage this family atmosphere on our team page, right? We've got to keep y'all talking with each other and communicating with each other. And I think that the highlight of that is the fact that it's real easy to feel like your struggle that you're having when it comes to this coaching business is yours and yours alone, and nobody's going to understand it because everyone else is just doing so great and wonderful. And I mean, yeah, everyone else is just so confident and they just know what they're doing, and I'm just the only one who's ever felt this way. No, like at any given moment, every single one of us are having doubt, self-doubt, insecurity, fears, all of that going through our heads. And there's coaches on this team in every single and so many different levels of having been a coach, from brand new coaches to been a coach for a couple months, 6 months plus, a year, 2 years, me 4 years. We've got coaches on every single level. So no matter what it is that you're struggling with, or that you're, what kills me, it baffles me, is that when someone does finally call me and they start telling me the things they've been struggling with for a while, I'm like, I would have never known that because you didn't tell me that. And it's like, what are you doing? If you would tell the team that you're having this struggle, and listen, when I say a struggle, it's mind stuff. It's in here. It's this kind of stuff. Because the business stuff is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. But the other part is what's going on in your own mind. And what's going on in each of our minds is so different in different ways. But it's the foundations of it's the same, which is self-doubt, insecurity, negative self-talk, and the lack of confidence. I think a lot of coaches' biggest problem is they're just not confident. You're just not a confident coach. And not being a confident coach stems from also lacking in confidence just in general. Why self-love, I truly feel like if you're ever going to be a successful coach, I feel like probably the number one thing that I'm going to tell you that you need to have if you want to be a successful coach is self-love. You've got to learn to love yourself. You've got to love yourself. You've got to be confident in who you are and what you do and what you have to offer. And you've got to hold yourself in that confidence, because you will speak with that confidence. I think that one of the biggest number one problems I see coaches having is it's not that you don't know how to talk to somebody, and it's not that you don't know how to invite or you don't know what to say. It's that you know all of that. You just don't have confidence in yourself to do it right. You don't think you can. And if you are looking at your business and you're talking and you're doing negative self-talk to yourself as a coach and towards your business, if you think you're not going to hit Success Club, if you think nobody cares, if you think that you're being salesy, if you think someone thinks you're being salesy, if you think that you're being judged and blah, 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 guess what? That's what your business is going to reflect. That's what it's going to be like. If you think that you're never going to be a diamond, you never will. Simple as that. If that's how you're thinking, then you never will. If your thought process, if you're one of those people who you say, yeah, I want to be, okay, I'm going to say that I'm going to be diamond by the end of 2020. That's what some of y'all do. Drives me nuts. I'm going to be diamond by the end of July. But then in your head, you're thinking, but I probably won't. Well, you're not going to. You're not going to. You set that daggum goal, then you act like it. I don't want you saying when you're going to be diamond or when you're going to be this or that. I want you to already be that in your mind. It's a mindset. It's a perspective. Because if you truly believe in your mind, I'm a good coach. I'm a good coach. I have so much value to offer you. I have so much insight. The tools that I can connect you with are exactly what you need. They are going to help you reach whatever that goal is that you're having in your life, that struggle that you're having in your life. I have something for you. If you feel that way, if you think that way in your mind, if you talk to people like it's not a big deal if they don't want what you have, like if in your head you're desperate for that sale or you're thinking you really need those points, then you're going to speak, like people pick up. It's just this energy about you. There's a difference in the way you speak. There's a difference in the way you talk to people. Now, if you talk to someone and you in your head, in your heart, you don't feel like you need that sell, you don't feel like you need that point, then you're going to talk in a different way. It gives you freedom to be honest. I would say the biggest change in my business, the way that I spoke to people, the change there might not have even been, I could say the exact same thing, but I could put it in a completely different way. And one way evokes a certain reaction and one way evokes a certain reaction, right? When I let go, when God broke that chain of giving a crap about rank and recognition and how much money I make and breaking that chain, letting go of all those fears and stresses and caring at all. And it's real easy to say, I don't care what anybody thinks of me. Well, you can say that, but if you are fearful in the way you speak to someone, you care what they think. When I stopped caring what people thought and I just spoke what I knew, spoke my truth with confidence. And if someone was like, no, thank you, I can honestly tell you, it became a thing where it was like, fine, okay. When you're ready, when you realize that you do need what I have, then I'm here, I'm ready to help, and I'll give you some value anyway. But it was like, it didn't stress me out anymore. And when I stopped being so stressed out about what ifs and hypothetical things that haven't even happened, a lot of the things that keep you from speaking the way you really want to, when I talk to y'all and you're telling me, like, let's say you're having a conversation and you're telling me what you want to say to them, all I'm thinking in my head is, you should just be saying that to them. Stop holding back, like be honest, be truthful. That's what coaches are. Like I said in that post that I made on the page, coaches are someone who tells you what you don't want to hear. And honestly, even if someone acts like they don't want to hear it, they came to you because deep down, they need someone to tell them the truth. They need someone to call them out on their BS. They need someone to, quit giving them leeway to make excuses and to just say, hey, and you can do that in a loving way. You can say, I've been where you're at. I see from outside looking in, I see that you're really using this as a crutch not to make changes. So you're saying you want this, but you're also saying you're not willing to do anything that it takes in order to get it. So you got to ask yourself, do I really want that? And when I say that to you, it's not me being rude or hateful. It's me like loving you enough to tell you the truth because I actually want you to make changes. So something that you're going to have to do, y'all, if you want to start now, yesterday, moving your business forward, is being honest with people, is letting go of fear in conversations, is if you feel like you're nervous to say something to somebody, all that is your red light or your green light to say it, and say it now. You know what I mean? Like if it kind of scares you to say it to them, you need to say it to them. They need to hear it. And this is what I want you to think about too, is if your biggest fear in a conversation and what you're saying to someone is, what if I offend them? Or what if they say no? Or what if they don't talk to me ever again? If that's the potential outcome in your hypothetical fear situation that you've thought up in your crazy brain, what happens if you never say a word? What happens if you never say anything to them? Nothing. What happens if, hypothetically, they don't receive what you have to say? Nothing. So what are you scared of? If they say no, the same outcome as if you never asked. If they don't respond, same outcome as if you never asked. The difference is, if you say something, if you open your mouth, if you just say something, if you tell them, if you ask them, if you invite them, if you share with them, you've at least given them an opportunity to make a life-changing decision, right? If you don't, you've taken the possibility completely off the table. If you don't talk about coaching, you're never going to grow your team. If you don't talk about coaching, if you don't say to someone, if God puts a name in your heart and he says, and you just keep thinking, man, I just think she'd be such a good coach. And she was talking about how her job is stressing her out, or they're struggling financially or whatever. And you just keep thinking like, man, I just feel like the coaching opportunity could be really good for them. If you keep thinking that, but you don't say it, what happens? They never even know it was a possibility. But if you just say it, you've at least given them the chance. You've given them a chance to discover what you have discovered. You've got to remember, what would have happened if I'm your coach? What would have happened if I just never said, hey, here's this coaching opportunity? You've got to change your perspective, and you've really, really got to figure out a way to really start thinking and behaving as if you're already a diamond. If that's a part of your goal, if achieving diamond is one of your goals, you've got to start believing you already are. Really believing it. I mean, really believing it. A diamond coach could care less if someone tells them no. A diamond coach doesn't hold back the opportunity. A diamond coach makes the Success Club a non-negotiable, not a stress factor. It's just a goal. You know what I mean? A diamond coach doesn't need someone to validate what they do as a coach, because you already know what you're doing as a coach. You know why it's important. You know how it's changed your life. You know how it can change the lives of others. You don't care. A diamond coach feels fear, but they do it anyway. They never stand still. They never let opportunities just pass them by. They never know deep down in their heart and soul that they're supposed to say something, but they keep quiet instead. They say what they feel, and they mean what they say. So you got to start doing that. And to be perfectly honest, most of the time, if your business isn't moving forward, if it's stagnant, if it's still, you're not behaving like a diamond coach. And you're probably not doing the 3 vital behaviors. You can tell yourself you are, but if you're honest with yourself, you're probably not. Probably not. You're probably not, at least attempting your workout every day as the schedule tells you. You've got to drink your shake every day. Yes, you've got to. These are the very basics, y'all. And if you're doing them consistently, your business will move forward. I can't give you a time frame. I'm just telling you it will. It's just a fact. If you're working out every day, if you're doing your workout every day, if you're drinking your shake every day. One of the funnest conversations I had today was with Rachel, who has just discovered the actual real effects of Shakeology. She's on cloud 9, and she is someone who didn't put off coaching because she really didn't like the shake aspect. She didn't want to do the shakes. She didn't think she'd like them. She was kind of very negative about the shakes. And she's going off on me today about how she just is it's like she snorted a rainbow. She just feels amazing. She just doesn't even know what's happening right now. I just can't believe it. It's like, what did they put in this stuff? What did they put in it? And I said, this is it. This is why it's so important for you to experience the product so that you have the passion and the enthusiasm when you talk about it. If you truly love what these products have done for you, and if you're doing your workout every day, if you're drinking your shake every day, and if you're doing your dangest to follow the meal plan, you're going to feel amazing, period. And all of you know it. You know when you're doing your stuff, you feel amazing. And you also know that when you backslide and you fall off track, you start to feel like crap. And not only do you feel like crap, but then your brain starts thinking crappy thoughts. And that's usually when you start being at a standstill in your business because you don't feel good. You don't feel good. You're not that happy, thriving person who's like on cloud nine, like, yay for working out, and yay for nutrition because I feel amazing, because you're not doing your stuff. And if you are doing your stuff, then you just cannot help but exude an energy about you that is happy and positive and joyful. And to be honest, when you're feeling happy and positive and joyful and your body's feeling good and you're taking care of yourself, you're not worried about being told no. You don't care. You're not worried about it because you know that what you have is amazing. And just because someone told you no, it doesn't mean that what you have isn't amazing. It doesn't change the truth. It changes the fact, right? So you just...
I'm having nightmares of that thing getting shoved up your nose.
Okay. That's interesting. Are you talking about my hand and my nose? Was it too close? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I'm not on speaker.
You're not on mute, sister. But y'all, I think like something I want y'all to understand, I want you to realize is that every fear you're feeling, every negative thought you've had towards yourself as a coach, towards this business, towards can I really do this? I can't even tell you how many times I sat and just was like, I was all in from day one, but I would think to myself, how am I ever going to build a team? How am I ever going to find people who want to coach? How am I ever going to find people who really like feel about this the way that I feel about this? I just don't see how. That was the main question I had. How am I going to do it? You know, I'm doing my workouts and I'm in all the trainings and I know what to do, but I still had this how when it was like, I knew how. My trainings told me exactly how, but I doubted them. I was doubting them. I was doubting them. I was doubting myself. I was doubting that it would work for me. It might have worked for all these other successful coaches who are telling me to do all the same things. But for some reason in my head, it might not work for me. Those things just might not work for me. And all of that is a fear, is self-doubt, insecurity, and not being confident. And it's a fear that what fear does is it creates hypothetical situations in your mind, and it causes you to act in a way that's a reflection of your negative thoughts. My business isn't going to grow if I'm always fearful that it's not going to grow. If I'm acting in a way that is a reflection of thoughts of what ifs, then I'm not going to speak confidently. How can I speak confidently to the people I'm having conversations with and confidently tell them, I have something for you. I have something that I really think might could really change your life if you do it. I have some value to give you. How can I speak that confidently if I'm doubting myself all the time? If I'm asking how? What if? You know, if I'm doing that, if that's going through your head, that's your problem. That's why personal development is so incredibly important, and self-love is so important, and knowing who you are and what you're doing and why you're doing it. And not just knowing it, but eating it, sleeping it, breathing it, acting it, exuding it, being rooted in it, unmovable in it. Because when you're unmovable and you're confident, you can have joy. Because you don't have to feel afraid or nervous, because you're joyful in what you're doing and why you're doing it. And you're confident and you have faith. And in your head, you're a diamond coach. Now, there's not a single thought, a struggle, a crazy thing that's going to happen in your life that's going to come out of nowhere that you just did not see coming. There's nothing going to possibly happen to you that is not happening in the lives of every single other person on this team, or that someone else on the team hasn't experienced. So the thing that I learned to do that really helped me, y'all, and you know this about me, is I embraced the freedom that I have to laugh without fear of the future. To laugh. I found my joy. I laugh. I laugh at the stupid things I used to do as a coach. I laugh at the cringeworthy posts that I used to do as a coach. I laugh at every failed conversation. You can come on the team page. Please, if you screw up a conversation, please come on the team page and share it so we can all laugh about it together, because it's funny. We all do it. I laugh about the fact that I have felt like I can't be wearing my Shakeology jacket and walk into a McDonald's. I laugh at it. I think it's funny. And that freedom to do that opened up a huge gate for me, didn't it? I have confidence because of that. Because I'm aware of some of the silly things we do. And it's funny. And I'm aware of the silly things that all of us are going to do, especially as new coaches, in order to learn how to do it better. But you have freedom to laugh at yourself. And when you can laugh at yourself, when you're laughing at yourself, you're not dwelling on all the negatives. You're not like rolling around in a pity party. You just laugh it off and move on. You know? It's like a roller coaster ride. It's one of those like extremely terrifying, scary rides. And they're so scary that you just can't help but laugh uncontrollably. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been so scared that you just laugh uncontrollably? Or a haunted house. I can't remember ever a single time that I went through a haunted house. And although I was scared straight, I couldn't stop laughing. I would pee my pants because I was laughing, not because I was scared, because I was laughing, right? That's kind of, we're all on this same scary roller coaster ride together. We're all going up the same hills. We're the same unexpected twists and turns and free falls. We're doing all of that stuff together. All of us. You're not doing it alone. You're not the only one going through it. We're all going through it. That's the beauty of having a team. We're all going through all of those things together. All of those emotions, the emotions, not having support, being rejected, being judged, being unfriended, having someone tell you what you're doing is stupid and pointless, not knowing how to invite, feeling like you just don't know what the heck to say, not knowing where to take a conversation next, all of these things. Then there's the personal aspect. Your dang mind, your own mind, just personal mind, everyday life, where something happens in life unexpected, and for some reason, the negativity from that just flows right into your business too, flows right into your coaching. And then you think to yourself, not a good coach, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot to deal with. The tangible things are easy. The business parts are easy. This up here is not easy. Dealing with people is not easy. If you're committed to being a coach for the long haul, for the rest of your life, and you're going to build a team, you're in for it. You're going to be working with lots of different personalities. You're going to be working with lots of different people. And let me tell you, you're going to have a lot of people who don't do you right. You're going to have a lot of people who take advantage of you, take your time, or a lot of people who haven't gotten where they need to be emotionally, spiritually, mentally, who will manipulate a situation, who want to blame you, who haven't got to a place where they're mature enough to accept responsibility for themselves. Like, you're going to have people that you feel like you poured and poured and poured into, who are just going to turn around and maybe never even speak to you again out of nowhere. Or they're going to blame you for their lack of success. It's going to happen. It's going to happen a lot. So you might as well prepare for that. So if you get down, if you're someone who's so affected by what everyone else does that you get so down on yourself every time somebody else does something they shouldn't have done, then you're going to lose your joy in this business. You've got to be very rooted in who you are, what you do, and what you offer as a coach, so that what everyone else is doing doesn't affect you, doesn't impact your joy, right? I think that the mental part and what you think about yourself has a huge impact on the kind of coach you're going to be. And I know we know this and we hear this. And the thing is, you can go through the Team Thrive Academy training, go through the Team Thrive Academy training, pinned to the top of the page. You can go through that. You can do it step by step. You can do the little checklist. You can write down the things. You can print off the business activity tracker. You can have the Power of Threes worksheet. 2 different things that you should be doing if you feel like you don't know what to do and you don't know how to find more people, you don't know how to invite. Those are 2 tools you have that you should be using. You can do that. You can print them off. You can even fill it out. But if you don't take action, if you don't move, if Teamsy tells you a name to reach out to, but you tell yourself, they won't want it, I'm not talking to them. Oh, they kind of intimidate me, I'm not talking to them. Guess what? You don't move forward. You don't progress. You got to get to a place where you do what you need to do no matter what. No matter what. All right? Where you listen to your instincts and where you know where you're rooted in who you are. And you've got to communicate. You have to communicate. You cannot let your pride get in the way of letting everyone know when you're struggling. That's why you have a team. It's why you have a team page. And it's why you have me. And I'll just say, there's a lot of things that I'm not good at. I'm not a great leader for you if you need to be like coddled and your hand held. And when I say coddled, I don't mean it like negatively. I just mean like if you're someone who feels like you just need you need, one-on-one, or you need attention all the time. No, I'm not that. If you need organization or time scheduling type, leaders, I'm not a good leader for that. But I'm pretty dang good at motivating. And so if you're struggling with anything mentally and emotionally or spiritually, I am the coach for you. You need to call me. I don't know how many different ways I can say it. You got to call me. Because I will help you. I will help you in that aspect. And if you ask me, that's the hardest part about coaching is your mental state, is your state of mind, your emotional state, and your spiritual state. And I'm really good at helping you with that. So I can help you overcome those battles. I can help you get over those humps. And this team, we're your family, if your spouse isn't supportive, guess what? All of us are. Turn to us. Turn to your teammates. Turn to your sister coaches. We understand what you're doing. A lot of people don't understand what we do. They don't know what it is. They don't understand. They don't get it. They haven't experienced it. But we know. We know. We've been there. We know how you feel. We know the struggle. We know the ups and the downs. We know how excited you are. We know your story. We know what it's like to experience completing a program, and we understand that it's so much more than physical results. So if your spouse isn't supportive, or if you have, extended family or friends who aren't supportive, so what? You have us. You don't need their support. It's your life. It's your business. You don't need it. If your husband thinks these calls are stupid, so what? One day when you're making more money than him, he won't think they're stupid anymore. Just saying. Hashtag just saying. So what? Focus. Focus on what you want out of life and go for it. Go get it. You've got to reach the point where you really and truly think to yourself, if she can do it, there's no reason I can't. Stop thinking that everyone else has some advantage you didn't have. You got to get to a point where you truly think that, where you believe that. If she can do it, there is no reason I can't. I am no different than Allie Upham or Lindsay Matway or Melanie Mitro. I am no different. If they can do it, I can do it. I can. They don't have anything you don't have. They don't have anything you don't have. They might have a better mindset right now in this moment. So work on your mindset and make a decision and commit to it. A lot of the things that coaches twist into stressful, overwhelming, it's too much, it's too time consuming, a lot of them aren't. They're really not. You make them like that. You do that because it's the same thing people do with their weight loss journey. They make it harder than it is so they have an excuse to give up. It doesn't take that much time to do those vital behaviors. It does not. It really doesn't. And y'all know it doesn't. If you just took the time to do it, if you focused, if you set a power hour or a power 30 minutes and you actually stuck to it and you finished and you got off and you left it alone, then it's not time consuming anymore, is it? Mommy, you're not spending your life on Facebook if you log off when you're done doing what you need to do. Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. It's that simple. It really is that simple. But we turn it into something hard. We make it harder than it is because we're scared we're not going to do well. We're scared we're not going to be successful. So we want to make it hard so that we can say when we're not successful, it was too hard. It was too time consuming. I didn't have time. I was spending way too much time on social media and not enough time with my family. Well, that's your own fault. You could have made it work. You could have made it work. You can make this work. If you utilize the tools you have, if you set boundaries, if you have a schedule, if you have business hours, and you it's discipline, y'all. It's discipline. And discipline is something that can always be crafted and honed and strengthened. So if you don't have it right now, work on it. You'll get it. It took me a while to get it, a really long time. I've been a coach for 4 years in April, right? I was a star diamond a year ago. Guess what? I'm a star diamond now. It's not all about ranks and recognition, y'all. I still have just as much joy and belief. And you ask me what we're going to do by summit. I will tell you, we will be a 10-star team. 10 of you are going to reach diamond status. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get you there. I'm going to keep pouring into you. I just believe it. I know it. I just know it. And I don't think y'all understand. I don't know if you really believe just how much can happen. How much can happen in 5 months if you're consistent. If you're consistent. If you show up every single day. If every single day you invite, you share, you work out, you drink your shake. Very simple things. These are very simple things if you do it every single day. The reason they sound simple but feel hard is because some of them require you to step out of your comfort zone. So your flesh feels like it's really hard, but it's not. It's not. And like I said, if you're able to laugh at yourself, you're not worried about any mistake you might make because you know that you're just going to laugh at it. You're just going to say, oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. You know? And I've found that if you're that open and honest and if you can laugh at yourself, people love that. They love that. If I had a failed conversation right now, you know what I would do? I would tell them, you know what? I screwed that conversation up I just had with you. I would just tell them that. And you know what they would do? They would laugh. They would laugh. And the minute you get someone to laugh because you're being open and honest, the minute someone laughs, they trust you. Because it's real. You know? And so learn to laugh without fear. You know, be that woman, that Proverbs 31 woman. She laughs. You know why? It says she's clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. You know why? It says she's clothed with strength and dignity, strong and completely confident. Dignity. You hold yourself. You're okay with who you are. You have dignity, right? And because she's brave and she has dignity, she's able to laugh with no fear, fearlessly. When you have no fear, you can find the joy in just about anything. You can find the humor. Laughter is a reflection of joy. So make it a focus to be that woman, to be that Proverbs woman, to be able to laugh without fear. Because if you can laugh, you're confident. If you can laugh at yourself, you're confident. You're okay with who you are if you can laugh at yourself. You're a confident woman. And when you're a confident woman, when you believe in yourself, when you love yourself, you will be a phenomenal coach. You'll be a phenomenal coach because you will never hold anything back. You won't hold back the opportunity. You won't hold back the coaching opportunity. You will not hold back when you see someone. If you see someone or you're talking to someone and they say, I just really struggle with my diet, you're not even going to hesitate to say, well, I used 21-day fix and it helped me. And you say it with confidence, man, because it did help you and it could help them. You can buy it or not. I don't care if you buy it. I'm just telling you. I'm just letting you know it'll help you. If you don't want to buy it, I don't care, but I'm letting you know. I'm going to plant that seed. And I guarantee you that seed will sprout at some point. At some point. You just need to be throwing seeds like it's your job, maybe. Just hand in the bag all the time. Just seeds thrown everywhere all the time. Everywhere you go. Wear and share, baby. Right, Casey? I see your shit. I had my true story. I had my Shakeology shirt on, and it was a fundraiser at McDonald's tonight for my girls' school, so I took it off because I didn't want to wear it to McDonald's. I'm not making that up. It's true. It's a true story, y'all. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I think I got the message out that I wanted to get to y'all. At least I hope I did. I find it very common when I actually get on the phone with y'all, and every time I get on the phone with y'all, I know that at least that person feels much better. But every time I talk to one of y'all, it's all the same things. It's just the same things. Self-doubt, insecurity, self-doubt, insecurity, self-doubt, insecurity, self-doubt, insecurity every single time. So if that's your top two, if that's the main things everyone's struggling with, what do you think it is that you need to work on? Self-love, confidence, roots. What are you doing and why? If y'all can tackle that, then you'll start to understand the difference between where you are now and the mindset you're going to have when you are a diamond coach. Because there's a difference. I can't explain it to you. It's a different way of holding yourself, a different way of speaking. And it really comes down to confidence. And I want to encourage you to look up this. I think it's called The 7 Steps of a Confident Woman, or seven something of a Confident Woman by Joyce Meyer. It's on YouTube, but it's really great. It's a really great YouTube little thing to listen to. And I'm going to post in the team page something that Lindsay Matway did, Strategizing Your Way to Diamond, and she talks about some of that, the mentality stuff, a lot of it, because all the coaches who've ever been diamond or above will always tell you the exact same thing. It's all about what's in here. It's all about what's in here. Because every single one of you know how to do what you need to do. You know what to do, and you know how to do it. But your inaction is from this. It's from a lack of confidence and insecurity and self-doubt. So if you can conquer this, you will be an amazing coach. You will hit that goal. It'll happen. Okay? Now, does anybody have anything that they would like to add or ask or anything like that? You can raise your hand. Nobody? Nothing? Okay. Casey? Okay.
The 7 Steps of a Confident Woman, I actually have that. It's in my book, The Confident Woman, that I've been reading. I can actually post that to the page here whenever we get off here, because I was like, oh my gosh, I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll post it.
I just need to read about 50 other
books. Somebody bought that for me. I forgot her name.
Ashley, I can't believe you're done it. I'm guessing that says you're done at 45 minutes. Well, I feel like I talked 9 to nothing, so I hope you even caught half of what I said. It was like, I've had these thoughts going through my head though all day today with all the conversations I've been having, and I couldn't wait to get on the call tonight to, pour it into y'all. So yeah, I really want to reiterate the fact that we're all in this together, and there's a reason why you need a team, and there's a reason why you need, support, is because we're all going through the same things. And collectively, if you're here on this call, and if you're a coach and you're a business builder, we all want the same thing, right? We all want the same thing. We have the same mission, and every single one of us is going through the same ups and downs. We're on the same ride. The difference is some of us are enjoying the ride more than others because we're more confident, right? We know where the ride's going, and we know it's worth it because we've been in this for a minute. And some of us are just scared crapless because it's the first time we've ever rode the ride, and we don't know where the next drop is coming, and we don't know what's around the corner, you know? So you've just got to hang in there. You got to ride it long enough to stop being scared and start enjoying it, you know? So you can get to that moment on the roller coaster where you're like, okay, I'm going to live. Yeah! And you can put your arms up, you can put your hands up, and you can just have fun and just enjoy it. That's where I'm trying to get you to, right? Get over that first big drop, that big scary drop, so you can throw your hands up and enjoy the ride. Okay? Because this is supposed to be joyful and fun and exciting, and it is. And every single crazy out of nowhere twist and turn is worth the fun moment. Like the if 10 people who've you know, used or taken advantage or totally just given up on themselves, we're worth working with and staying in this to have you, the people who really care and get it and want this and are going to have life and going to have their lives changed even more than it already has been, and are going to change so many others' lives in the process. That's the joy of it. And that's why it's so amazing. And that's why it's so fun. And that's why it's so worth it. You know, when we had the Disney Diamond Day, you know, that I went on with Amy, my upline, and all of us, and we got on that one, the space rocket, I think what it's called. I never, ever, 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 ever sit in the front section of a roller coaster ever. And it just so happened I had to get in the front. I had no choice. I had to get in the front. The way people lined up, the way it ended up coming out, I had to be in the front. And on that ride, you know, you're by yourself in the front. You don't have someone sitting next to you, just by yourself. To tell you I was like beyond terrified would be an understatement. That ride's also the kind of ride where you can't see what's about to happen because it's pitch black, right? But then you get like, so you're screaming and screaming and screaming, and you're terrified and you don't know what's about to happen. But then you get off the ride and you are just like exhilarated, giggling uncontrollably, laughing hysterically, and you go look at the picture, and the picture always shows you doing this because you were enjoying it. You were having fun. It was scary. It scared the crap out of you, but it was like, wait, this is fun. This is actually fun. Like it is. Coaching is fun. This should be fun. You know, enjoy the ride, and just know that every time you are in a struggle moment, and every time you are in a valley or down there in a funk or whatever, just remember that if your ultimate goal is to one day build a team of your own, you cannot teach them how to get through struggle moments if you're not having them right now yourself. You know, you have to have them so that one day when your new coaches who are going to have the exact same fears, struggles, self-doubts, and insecurities that you're having, you're going to have to know how to coach them through it, which means you had to have experienced it yourself, right? So just keep that in mind. Remember that your funk is your classroom. You're learning lessons that you will pass on at some point to somebody else who's going to need it. Okay? All right. Anybody else have any questions or anything to say? I don't care if we're halfway into February. I can't tell you how many times I personally and I've also watched other people hit their Success Club goal the night before. I personally have hit it at 11 p.m. the night before. So you have half a month left. Don't stress out. Don't feel like it's over. Just keep doing your vitals. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. Keep putting yourself out there. Don't hold back on inviting and sharing. And keep it in the forefront of your mind. You know, this is a non-negotiable, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know, a lot of you are on the board. There's so many 2s and 3s. I saw a couple 4s. Like, you're on the board. And even if you're not on the board, even if you're sitting at 0, I don't care. You can find 3 people and then in the next, I mean, guys, what you can accomplish in a day, if you just do what you're supposed to do. If you just do your follow-ups, send out your messages, do your invites. If you're doing that every single day, if you're doing 3 invites a day, that's 21 invites in a week. If you have 2 weeks left, that's 42 invites, a minimum that you should have sent out. So that's why if you're doing what you're supposed to do every day, you're likely to hit your goal. Okay? Instead of waiting till like the week before to freak out and then really start pushing, you know? I can't tell you, like, as like I used to do this, I would slack off thinking, oh, I've got 30 days, no big deal. I've got like a whole month. It's just the beginning of the month. So I'm just I'm just gonna take this whole week off and just be like on coach vacation, you know? And then it would be like the week before. And then I would start, it was like I was inviting everybody. I was going to the grocery store and inviting everybody in the protein aisle. You know what I mean? Like everyone I came across, everyone I saw that was a potential challenger. And then I start stressing myself out and freaking out about it. And being pushy and starting acting like a salesperson, posting links, I just gotta throw some stuff out there and hopefully someone bites. You don't have to do that if you just do what you're supposed to do every single day. You know, if you actually like show up to work and do your job and treat your business like it's a business, if you'll do that, you don't have to stress yourself out, and just have confidence and have faith, and just, you know that if you are doing what you're supposed to do every single day, it will happen. Okay? It's not a lost cause just because it's the middle of the month and you have 0 points. I've seen people get 5 points, 10 points the night before because seeds that they've been planting all daggone month sprouted at the last minute. Okay? All right. Let me check down here. Jennifer said she asked something in the chat. I've been meaning to ask why we stopped ending team calls in prayer. I mean, there was no particular reason. I think I just didn't think about it. And I don't know. And I also, and Jay's been MIA, and she was my prayer. I loved her. Like, she was my pray person. But yeah, we can do that tonight. Jennifer, you want to lead us in a closing prayer?
I'm in the hospital. I can't do it tonight.
Well, who knows? Maybe what you say is something somebody next to you needs to hear. I'm not going to make you do that, but just saying. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it tonight. I will tell you all right now, praying out loud in front of people is like really scary to me. It makes me really nervous. Matter of fact, last time I did it, I'm pretty sure I said "Dear Baby Jesus" like 5 times and then cracked myself up and had to get it together and get serious because I was so nervous. Okay. So if nobody else has anything else, though, I will close this out in prayer. And, one more thing. Like I said in the page, in case y'all didn't hear, Sarah Harmson does have a room at the hotel that I'm staying at, that a bunch of coaches are staying at. It's pretty close to the venue. It's a king bed room. It is an expensive room. It's like $1,000, and it's a king bed. So it has whoever's going to, if you decide you would like to be in that room, then you have to be okay with maybe your feet touching someone's feet. Or I don't know. I mean, if there's 2 people, it's a king bed. It's, you got plenty of space, but it's going to be more expensive for the room. You got to split it just 2 ways instead of 3 or 4. So that's totally y'all's call. But just saying, she's got the room. The room is available like right up, and she can have it. She can hold it right up until like right time to go to Summit. So if any of you if you think you have time to save up, for that, then there's a room there available. There's also the option of renting a house. And that option is cheaper, and the houses are nice. A lot of times they're really nice. So you've got options. Don't stress out. You'll find somewhere, but you probably do need to want to start thinking about what you want to do, and then finding your roomies, and kind of getting together with each other on that, figuring out what you want to do, just so that you're not stressed out about it, getting closer to time, because it'll be here before you know it. It's like this year is flying by. So, all right, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing this team together tonight, and for everyone who's on the call and watching the recording. And I just want to thank you so much for everything you've done for this team, and for all of the ways you've brought us together for such a wonderful reason and mission and purpose. And thank you so much for having women on this team who lift each other up, who love each other and encourage each other. And I just pray that you will just give every single person on this team that fearless confidence in who they are in you, Lord, and who you say they are. I pray that you will take away any self-doubt and insecurity, and bring people to them who need what they have to offer, and also bring people into their lives who have value to add to them, who can impact them in ways they never even saw coming. And I know you have such big things planned for this team, Lord. I'm so thankful and so grateful for all that you are doing through us. And I just pray that we will reflect your presence every single day by our actions and our words and the way we treat others. And we all love you, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right. I love you, girls. And I'm going to stop the recording because I don't know.